Miami is 11. And Milwaukee will lose game one for a second straight series. 115-104.
No rebound out of a Miami run. Giannis will put up a three. He's missed them all. 0 of 7. He have just ripped the heart right out of the top team in the NBA, Milwaukee.
At the making of this video, the Milwaukee Bucks are down 2-0 against the Miami Heat, and they'll have their Game 3 played today. And if I'm keeping it 100, that definitely should not have been called a foul on Giannis, and the refs costed the Bucks the game. But it's looking like Milwaukee will lose this series, and if they do lose it, it will not look good for the Bucks organization if they want Giannis to stay. Anyways guys, it's your boy, and today in this video I'll be talking about why it is inevitable that Giannis will leave the Bucks. It would mean a lot if you guys can like the video because it helps my channel grow. Also subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos like this, and comment on the video to start a conversation with me, and play that intro. See this tweet right here by Richard Jefferson? It has picked up some steam around the NBA community, and a lot of people are clowning him, but I somewhat agree with him. Not in the case that Giannis can't be the best player on a championship team like Pippen was, because don't get it twisted, Giannis will be a 2-time MVP and a Defensive Player of the Year before he's even 26, and is a top 5 player in the NBA right now. But where I agree with Richard Jefferson is in the sense that Giannis needs another elite shot-creating perimeter scorer around him. And you might be thinking the Bucks have a player like that in Chris Middleton. And sure, Middleton plays like that somewhat in the regular season, but don't get it twisted. In last year's playoffs, Chris had a chance to show what he can be, and he had one of the worst stretches of his career and averaged 13.7 points per game on 41% from the field. And taken in the regular season, he averaged 18 points per game on 44% from the field. And in these playoffs, he has shown again that he is simply not the second option for Giannis, because although he's averaging 18 points per game, he's doing it on 39% from the field, and he's shooting 75% from the free throw line, which isn't terrible or even bad. But if you put in context that this is a player that was 0.3% away from having a 50-40-90 season, nearly joining such an elite club, it makes it clear Chris is a notorious player for underperforming. And a player like Giannis, who in the fourth quarter of the playoffs turns into just a center like Rudy Gobert with the ability to dribble, you need a guy to make a contested three or pull up for a mid-range. And no one expects Eric Bledsoe to be that type of player, but in the playoffs he doesn't even play like the player you expect him to be, which is a slashing playmaking point guard who locks down the opposing team's guard, but he always underperforms in the playoffs. I don't even understand why last season Milwaukee signed him to an extension, sort of forcing them to let Malcolm Brogdon walk away to Indiana, because Malcolm was better than Bledsoe in almost every aspect of basketball, because Malcolm is world's better shooter, which can help space the floor for Giannis, compared to Bledsoe, who is one of the worst volume 3-point shooters in the NBA. Brogdon is also a better playmaker, and you wouldn't lose too much on defense, with Brogdon being 6'5" and 225 pounds and fundamentally sound on that end. I think the Bucks have done a good job surrounding Giannis with talent, and they should be given credit, but unfortunately, their team has a big weakness, which is the fact that they have limited shot creators. The Bucks have a lot of shooting around Giannis, but they haven't been hitting their shots. Giannis has been the best player in the NBA regular season over the last 2 years, but he has been way different in the playoffs. I personally would like to see Giannis stay on the Bucks because it's always cooler to see a player drafted by a franchise and he stays with them forever. But before we entertain the idea of Giannis leaving, let's talk about how the Bucks can keep him. If Milwaukee can make the finals this year or next year and make it competitive or even win the championship, I would expect Giannis to re-sign on a shorter deal for like 2 or 3 years with player options. But in the next 2 seasons, if Milwaukee fails to make it to the finals, I would expect Giannis to leave. But if the Bucks feel like their current roster isn't good enough to get it done, they can make a trade for a shot creator like Bradley Beal. I don't know how a trade like that would happen, but I know that it would really help the Bucks. But to get into some potential teams for Giannis to join, I must state that the team must have a bunch of three-point shooters all around the court to space the floor for Giannis, who is a pure slasher, and have at least one elite shot creator. And the first candidate for that would be the Dallas Mavericks, who have the best offense in the league this season, and they have multiple shooters and one of the best shot creators in the NBA in Luka Doncic, who would fit seamlessly with Giannis. Second candidate would be the Toronto Raptors, who have enough shooting to help Giannis, but the only downside is the fact that they have no shot creator. And Siakam is good, but in these playoffs, he has shown to everyone that he's not as good of a shot creator and is very limited. The third option I will talk about is Giannis to the Miami Heat, which is the team he is losing to currently, and they are one of the best shooting teams in the NBA, so we would have enough shooters around him, and Miami also has two closers to put around Giannis in Jimmy Butler and Goran Dragic. Another candidate is the Golden State Warriors, who, despite what you would think, do not have as much shooters besides Curry and Clay. The Warriors have a closer in Curry, and they have a player in Clay who can hit clutch shots. Those are the teams who I think have the best chance to sign Giannis. But if I had to make a prediction for Giannis's future, I would predict Milwaukee to make the finals or win the championship in the next 2 seasons, causing Giannis to re-sign to the Bucks for a 3-year contract with a player option. If they make the finals but lose, and if they win the championship, I expect them to sign a 5-year max contract player with player options. And I hope that Giannis stays, but only the future can tell. Anyways guys, that's it for the video. Don't forget to like the video because it will really help me grow. Subscribe to not miss any more of my uploads, and comment to start a conversation with me. Also, check out these 2 other videos out if you like this one, and I'm out.